11 stutter, we're asked to write a method named stutter. It's going to take an array list of type string as a parameter and also an integer k as parameter, and replaces every string with k copies of that string. So if we have like how are you, and we're given k as 4, we're going to have 4 hows, 4 r's, and 4 u's. So let's get into this. After the method finishes executing, that's what it's going to print. If k is 0 or negative, our list should be empty. So let's actually handle that case first. If our list actually not list dot size, so if k, looking at the wrong thing right here, if k is less than or equal to 0, we're just going to want to do list dot clear, and that's going to just completely clear our list. That's all we need to do for that. Now let's look at our for loop, which we need because we need to go through all of the indexes in this array list. So for int a is equal to 0, we are going to want to run this as long as a is less than our entire list dot size. And we're just going to increment a every single time. Pretty simple, right? Now, we know that we have to, so we run this for loop the amount of times that we have this. Now we also want to add in here k many times. So it makes sense to have another for loop inside of here, where this k right here is our max. So we run it this many times. That's how we get 4 things inside of here. And what I'm going to do is set it equal to 1 here. I'll explain this in a second. The way I came up with this is because you have, let's say k is equal to 4, right? B is equal to 1. So you start at index 1, and then you go to index 2, and then you go to index 3. Notice, and you won't go to index 4 though, because B is less than k. So you have 3 things you're going, right? And you're adding 3 things. That's what I wanted to do here. Now if you wanted to add 4 things, B would be equal to 0. Or you could just set B equal to 1, and this is less than or equal to k. But that's what we're going to do here, and then we're going to increment b every single time we are inside of this for loop. So again, this is for the outside part where we run through this entire array list, and this is for the inside part where we are actually adding the k amount of strings. So inside of this for loop, what we are going to want to do is just add. It's pretty simple. So we'll do a list.add like this, and we want to add into it our a++. The reason why we're doing a++ is because after we add into here, we're obviously going to have to increment a to get to the next value, right? We're not incrementing a here because we're still going to be inside of this nested for loop. So to get to the next value that we have right here, we are going to want to increment a after we do this add. And if it's like this, it's just going to get the current a, and then it's going to add right after it does it. So what do we want to add? Well, we want to get the variable that's at the specific index that we're looking at. So we're just going to do list.get, where we pass in a like this, and that should be pretty much it. Close off this for loop. Let's close off this for loop. Let's submit this. See what we get. So again, if you have any questions, okay, so we have an out of bounds index. So before we get to the questions part, let's see what we got here. See what the issue is. So if we scroll down here, it looks like it's just a simple out of bounds, which can be fixed probably if we look at these. So this seems right. We went over this. This seems pretty right. I explained it. There is an issue actually, and it's with this line. So if you can spot it, that'd be pretty good. But I realized my a++ right here is having an issue with this list.getA. Because remember what I said? We're going to get this a, the current a, which is like 0 here. We're going to get a for this list.add. But then right after we get that, it's going to increment it. So we are going to be getting something from some place that we don't want to get it from. So instead of having this right here, let's just do a like this, and we'll do a++ right here below it, down here. See if that fixes anything. So submitting it, running it. Now I'll tell you, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you on them. So this is passing all of the tests. Hopefully that explained it pretty well. We're using a nested for loop inside of here. So we can go through the outside, then go through the inside, and we started at b is equal to 1 and not 0 because of how many times we need to output this. And we are adding inside of here based on what we have right here. So we have our 0 being added, then we go to 1, 2, 3, and then we go to the next one. So that's how we would do exercise 10.11, which is stutter.